This is my review of the IDOBAO ID80 Crystal. This will cost you $259 for the acrylic version and $269 for the PC version, which is the version I have on the table right now. It comes nicely packaged, packed in foam and wrapped in cling wrap, but most importantly, it came in an incredible 4 days. I ordered this on the 29th of July and the delivery man knocked on my door on the 2nd of August. Now from what I know, this is pretty much unheard of in the world of custom keyboards. The board is well constructed, feeling sturdy in the hands. It features a brass weight at the bottom that is removable through 2 screws on the inside. The USB connection at the back is enveloped in a brass piece that gives the plastic board a much more premium look and makes me feel a little better after spending $269 on a plastic keyboard. It comes with foam strips for the top and bottom housing, as well as all the other necessary hardware. It also comes with spare hot swap mounts that I will definitely not need to use later. Here I disassembled the board, carefully showing the internal components such as the brass plate, as well as the dampening foam that sits between it and the circuit board. I also showed the stock stabilizers that clip onto the circuit board with the intention of showing a sound test to show you how readily they are. If I only remembered to switch to the right camera and not look like a complete idiot. But anyway, here's the sound test. Here's me realizing what I've done. We will be using Durock V2s for this build because they are always so dependable and also because they come in smoky black as well. Well, mainly because they come in smoky black. Here's a pro tip: if you don't have a fancy stem holder, you can always just grab a switch puller you have lying around and it's gone. We've fully modded our stabilizers. We will be applying Krytox 205G0 and getting it all over our hands. Next step involves scissors. I will be cutting and using the micropore 3M tape as padding under the stabilizers. This way, the raw plastic will not be slamming down directly onto the circuit board. Also, the micropore tape provides just enough padding, being as thin as it is, not contributing to any mushiness when the stabilizers bottom out. Here, I found out the Durock V2s interfere with the included plate foam, but that is something easily fixed with a pair of scissors. Here's a sound test with the new stabilizers. The next mod I would like to try is to apply a layer of PE foam under the switches. The Jelly Epoch had this feature and I absolutely loved how it sounded. So let me see if I can replicate it with this board. It is important to note that the PE foam here is extremely thin at a thickness of only about 0.5 millimeter. Any thicker would most likely cause problems. Another pro tip: while installing your switches, make sure to support the hot swap plugs that you are pressing into to avoid ripping them out accidentally. Here, I have intentionally ripped out one of the plugs as an example of what not to do. In the end, I had a couple of keys that were not registering, but thankfully, all that was easily fixed by pulling out the switches and straightening up the pins I had intentionally bent during the installation. Just to show you that it's easily fixed. The next step is installing the foam gaskets and putting the board together so that we can move on to the final touches of the board, the keycaps. I thought that these clear keycaps would look great on the board, but boy was I wrong. It was also at this point when I realized that the ID80 has a pretty unusual 1.75U right Alt and Control key, and none of the keycap sets I own at home have those keys. So for the sake of this video, I will just have to make do with what I have. In the end, I just slammed an old set of PBT keycaps I took off an old TKL that I thought matched the color of the board pretty well. I was still missing a 2U right shift key, so please forgive me for what I'm about to do. And here it is, now to the sound test. The spacebar did not have a piece of PE foam under the keycap, so I went back in to stick one under there. Here's how it sounds. Overall, I think the ID80 Crystal sounds great. Together with the Gateron Black Inks V2, it is a pretty foggy sounding board. The brass plate and the thick polycarbonate shell contributes to a premium sounding board. The PE foam ended up increasing the overall pitch of the board, as that is what PE foam seems to do. It makes the lower pitched board sound higher pitched and the higher pitched board sound lower. Credit to nearLucid for diving deep into the PE foam mod. You will find a lot more information on his video, which I will link in the descriptions below. So, should you buy the ID80 Crystal? Yes, if it was still 2020. 2021 has brought us not only more COVID, it has also brought us this, the GMMK Pro. It is all aluminium, is gasket mounted, has multiple plate options, and has a rotary knob over here. Rotary knob as well. Did I mention that it's also cheaper, even with the brass plate option? So unless you're like me and are really digging the polycarbonate look or the acrylic look, it's gonna be quite hard to recommend the ID80 Crystal. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is my first video, so liking and subscribing will definitely motivate me to make more. Bye!